Not a lot.
No.
So Sunday, the Emmys. It's a big deal, big business. Huge amounts of money, interest there. And what is it all about? It's about one of the things that we do best of all cultures in the entire world, best of all countries. We're great storytellers. So this is the packaging of story.
Now, in the past, in the recent past, you saw reality programming, The Amazing Race, Dancing with the Stars, The Voice. But what happened when there was competition from Amazon, from Netflix, from HBO and Showtime, what became successful were dramatic stories, episodic dramatic stories. And there's a reason for that.
Because people go back to them. It's stories that are in our DNA. They're the way we pass on elements of our culture, our origin myths, what we hold dear, the things that we love, just entertainment. But they're in our DNA. So those are the things that we will always return to, no matter what the style of the day is as far as our popular entertainments. We will always go back to story and character.
Now in business, which is what we're going to focus on tonight for each of you, there's an effective story, and then there's the shaggy dog story that goes on too long and doesn't have a point. For us, the best way to tell a story is to have structure and to have one message embedded in each story that you tell. And for you, it's thinking about what do you want to convey, what business do you want more of, what do you do differently than anyone else.
I'll push somebody else's book because it's a book I really love. It's called Made to Stick, and it's the Heath brothers. So this is a book that's probably 8 years old now, but it's a really great book. It's about what ideas stick and what ideas don't and why. And of course, what's their last chapter? It's narrative. It's all around storytelling because someone from organizational development and from a think tank, these two brothers, say the thing that will deliver information the best is a story, and the thing that creates action in others is a story.
And if you want your services, whether it's financial services, obviously Marcia knows about history. Ellen, you are working in the new self-publishing industry, which is gaining traction every single day. Stories are memorable. They are the thing that people 6 months, a year from now will remember your story, even though you were so articulate with your services, it goes like Teflon.
If you want proof, if you think about the origin myths, let's say, of the United States, every single one of them are wrong. They are completely against the facts. They are simply made up, but we all train, we all get them in school, we all hear them, we all believe them, but you can't put a boat on a rock if you've ever sailed a boat.
Plymouth.
As in Plymouth Rock. It was in a bay just about 8 miles south of there, which was really accommodating to boats, on and on. But the story will always trump reality no matter what. Now, we don't want you to make up stories about your work or your business or your services or your products, but when it shows you when you have the right story and you match it with telling it the right way with a bit of verve, people will remember it.
So this is what we're going to talk about tonight. But because it's a small group, which is wonderful, we can tailor what you need. So we can do a little bit about delivery as well as how to construct a story. And we will shape your stories. So the first thing we want you to think of is what you want to achieve tonight. And then a story that you can share with us that has one message embedded. Like for Faisal, how do you go to foreign countries, to business professionals, and convince them to send students to your international program? And that brings up one of our axioms. We always say if you educate people, you get them to think. If you persuade them, you get them to act. Your job is always to be persuasive more than it is educational.
It doesn't matter if you have product or services, there's always the question at some point, why you? Why your service? Why your product? Why your project? The story is the thing that proves it, because anecdotal evidence trumps factual evidence, every single time. Sorry for all of those, especially at work in the numbers world, but it's not as strong. Now, certainly if you have the numbers to back it up, great, but the story will always trump the facts, no matter what.
So consider what story you want us to shape, and consider what else in terms of communication or presentation skills we can share with you. Whether it's overcoming anxiety, whether it's team presenting, which is what David and I are doing right now, which is all technique driven from the theater. Whether it's how to move or gesture. Anything that you want, we can fold in and incorporate. And this is about the longest we like to talk, because if it's not interactive, you can walk out of a lecture and forget what you've heard in about 10 minutes. But if you speak and you learn these skills, it will become part of your new muscle memory, your DNA. So, questions, comments, what you want to achieve at this point. And our 2 Skype members, just speak up, and if we can serve you, we will. All right, what would you like to achieve, or what questions do you have?